there no physician there for the health of the daughter of my people? In verse 22. Jeremiah's searching question inspired an old spiritual that proclaims the message of hope and forgiveness we still need today. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. The balm is the healing power of Jesus for our deep wound of sin. Have you applied his balm? Sometimes when you feel discouraged, think about the verse of this song. Sometimes I feel discouraged and think my work's in vain, but then the Holy Spirit revives my soul again. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. Our quote this morning reads, "The great physician always has a right remedy." End quote.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
There is a problem in here. Do you feel like you are not doing enough? You're just putting Band-Aid on a big wound.
Now this one make it humorous for me this morning, ladies. Makes it humorous for me this morning. Just to listen to it. I'm not going to spill the beans on this one, but just listening to the conversation and this one, it as you know, why life seems to have a way to just blending everything together at the same time. I don't know, but it does. And so I'm seeing this one, this devotional as one of those. It's like reading your mind kind of a thing, or predestined something in thoughts and in mind, because the alignment with these two things are separate and apart, and so it is impossible to see them happening at the same time. So I just know every time I say that I don't believe in anything that happens by chance. God's divine intervention is always going to be the thing. It's always by design that things happen, and I don't know what chaos will happen or what may come about, but I do believe the design is always God's plan. So I don't know whether the enemy is working his way into all of this, but this is what I have to say. But this morning I want to say it is indeed a beautiful day, and we're giving God thanks for having us up today and giving us another opportunity to be here, right? So today we are going to be dealing with some a bit of information. So we want to, today is Financial Tuesday, and so on our Financial Tuesday today, if Lady Elise you want to introduce or just make a little announcement this morning, but then after that we come back and then we have our guests on.
Of course. Thank you, listeners and viewers. Welcome to the Breakfast Hour. I want you to go ahead and share the link. Today we have a special guest joining us. And of course, you will find out much more about what he has to share with us this morning. I want to say a special good morning to the members of the team, especially to the director of Flashpoint Media Ministries, Edgar Bennett, whose head is like swollen big.
Can you imagine?
Yes. But of course, we'll hear more about that on the other side of the break when we introduce you to our special guest this morning.
Yeah, well, for me, let me add my little quota of congratulations to him as being the father of that young man who has done so well. And of course, it's a really heartfelt moment. And I know he's happier this morning. I heard him yesterday. I called him yesterday, and he was getting ready. He said, Brother Mike,
Welcome
I'm
back.
heading out. I'm heading out. You know, I'm saying congratulations to you. Of course, when we come back, we will have this conversation and introduce our guest, as Lady Elise said. But of course, this segment is brought to you by Acai Ultrasound for all your ultrasound needs for you in the Grand Cayman and around the world.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Acai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Acai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Acai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Yes, this morning we are privileged to have the owner and operator of Acai Diagnostic Imaging Services, Mr. Curtis Mason. It's not his first time in studio. Are you a newbie?
Not at all. Not at all.
Not a newbie at all, right?
Hey, not at
Welcome
all.
back.
Thank you very much.
I see that you have been doing a lot of things here in the Cayman Islands. Actually, we wanted to welcome you. This month, June, is Men's Month. And I remember the last
Yeah.
time you came here, you were speaking passionately about men's
About
health.
my pet peeve, men's health.
So I want you to use the opportunity, even though you're going to be talking about other things this morning,
Yeah.
to remind our men that are listening this morning how important it is to take care of their health.
Gentlemen, I don't know what to say. I've been on this topic for quite a while. If you recall, I actually had a group of men one afternoon, one Sabbath afternoon in Newlands, and we had a very good talk. There were quite a few women there too. As a matter of fact, the women were more involved than the men were, as
Usual.
usual. Right?
Right.
But I think that the point I try to establish on the point, which I think is slowly getting across to us, is that we are we need to be more responsible.
Yes.
Right? We need to tear a page from the women's books. Even one page, and that one
Can
page
you
is
repeat
that.
that? Men,
Sorry, guys,
please
I feel the
take a
trigger right now,
page
but I have to
from
say
the
this.
women's book.
Please take a page from the women's book,
Yes.
right? And that page is that they are very, they care about their health. They are very proactive. The word I want to use to you is proactive. They will go to bed. The least little thing that happens to women, they are going to get it checked out.
Yes.
But we, the stupid ones, we wait and we hope that the thing disappears. If it's pain, we hope the pain disappears. If it's a lump, we hope it disappears. And if it's our prostate, that's another story. So I just want to address this and I need to say to you guys, please, it's not about you. It's about your family, it's about your wife, it's about your children. So do it for them if you don't want to do it for yourself.
Yeah, because you need to be around to take care of your family members. You want to be around to see you walk your daughter up the aisle, to
Aha.
be that giveaway father, or even to defend your daughter. You
Mm.
want to make sure that they're okay.
And not
So,
just that,
yes,
men, and you mentioned daughter, and that strikes a chord. Men are so important in the growth of their daughters. And we always think it's men should grow their boys to be men. But we
Yes.
need to grow our girls to be women as well, to be prepared and to be educated about men.
Yes.
About men.
Well, that they are
So
very
we
nice people.
I
so
don't
we
know,
have
you
our
know. I
girls. So we
think,
prepare our girls to be ready for us. That's a great role that we have to play in their lives.
as I listen to the conversation, and I'm hearing this preparation for men, and how we should, or even for ourselves, how we should take care of ourselves. I'm gonna go with the idea of if we use the Bible's principles of the idea of how to teach our women how to prepare for men. The Bible says that women should teach the children and young women how to prepare for not just themselves as young men, but women as young women, how to come up. So I think women
Uh,
have a big responsibility to play in this role. So I'm not going to cast it on them to say that they are failed, that the men are not actually listening or actually participating well in the exercise that they should, but that this is a main ingredient or feature that is given to women by the Bible itself, to say that you are responsible. Your immediate responsible, your primary responsibility is to train young women and train children, how to be who they are supposed to be. But as we talk about men's health, I remember, somebody you were on at one point with introducing. We talked about the man's health and how it's important for him to take care of himself. And so at that point, we had an ultrasound for given to a man, and somebody said I want the ultrasound, but I didn't get. Somehow every day they call me and say, Michael, did you go get your ultrasound check, your checkup? Well, not well. I'm saying ultrasound check, but we were talking about men's health and prostate health and all of that and the rest of it. But as we are here today, and I want to remember or remind us of that conversation. And today we are having the same one, I believe, in a sense that giving awareness to the individual men, how important it is to take care of your health. And when is a better time? It is Men's Month, June. And I didn't know until I realized that the roses as a flower is for Men's Month. And this month is the Roses Month and it's for Men's Month. So I would say, we used to say the women are the roses, but I realize the men are becoming the roses now. I don't know.
it used to be that the men were the thorns.
I say,
Yeah. So you say that men are becoming the roses now. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If that's the case, I'm not. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that,
It's an
right?
interesting concept. But you rightly said, we we need to be more responsible and accept our role. Look, the Bible designed us to be, well, God designed us, as the Bible said, for us to be the leaders and to be the head of the household and all that sort of thing. I mean, there's an evolution of roles that's taken place, but um, we never, we should never forget the original role that we play, you
Mm.
know. And as far as our health is concerned, we are now at about 20,000 new patients, right?
Mm-hmm.
At Acai. All right. And let's make a guess as to how many men are in that 20,000.
That should be an interesting.
Yeah.
I hope, because you have been preaching this gospel for a long
I
time.
hope it
I
not,
hope that
it improves.
you're surprised.
I hope so. But I believe from just by my general recollection that of this 20,000, we're talking about new patients with since SI was established 10 years ago, I would say maybe 25% is men.
All right, well, let's talk about Asai. I'm glad you
Aha.
brought that beautiful name up. Now, Asai has been a sponsor here at Flashpoint Media, and of course, they continue to provide quality health care to the persons in the Cayman Islands. As a matter of fact, we have a physician that joins us every Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, and she says, if I was in Cayman, the place I would send my patients to would be Asai.
Absolutely.
Asai. Now, you mentioned that Asai started over 10 years persons ask the origin of the name acai.
Yes.
I know there's a healing berry.
Yes. It's a Brazilian fruit,
Yes.
and it's mixed with chocolate. It high antioxidant and healing properties. But that's
Yes.
not the reason.
Yes.
All right. So I worked with a private hospital for 15 years.
Right.
Within that 15 years, though, it was like somehow I was programming myself to do what I eventually did, which was to go on my own. And when the right opportunity came along, I had a problem with a name. I said, what am I going to call this thing? And the wife says, call it, she said, Ultradynamics. She said, call it Ultradynamics. And I was like, yeah, that's a nice name, but I didn't like it. So believe it or not, I'm in the room, in the dark, in the living room, and I'm looking up to the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, God, give me a name. And some letters started flashing across my eyes. I said, hold on. My wife is Isabel. So that's an I.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't come together yet. I said, C, I'm C. I say C and I, Curtis, C, I. And that's Cayman Islands, but it's still not clicking as yet. And then I thought about our two girls. There was Asia and Alyssa. A. And I said, wow, ACAI, Acai. That is the healing fruit. This is going to be a healing place.
Mm-hmm.
So the logo is designed with the acai berry and the leaves and stuff like that. And that was the whole concept. Whenever you come into acai, it's for healing.
Yes.
And there have been so many occasions where people have come in pain and they have left without pain. And not just physical pain, sometimes mental pain. I don't know. Sometimes some words of inspiration come to me, and that patient who's on my bed, it's like a psychiatric coach sometimes. In that words of inspiration come and they listen and they say, I'm so happy I came here today. I feel blessed. I feel relieved of my stress. And they leave with something. And also, another thing at the side, as our advertisement says, we have had quite combined many years of experience. But prior to doing any examination, I make a little prayer. And I say, Lord, I don't want to find anything bad with this patient. But if there is something bad, I need to see it. So I'm going in with a positive thing. I hope there's nothing wrong. But if there's something wrong, I'm going to see it. All right? Okay. Now, to the evolution of society. And so we segue into the name change. Right? And I heard the advertisement saying Acai Ultrasound Imaging Services. And Acai has become of age in that we are adding another modality to our services. And so the name cannot remain Acai Ultrasound Imaging anymore. So goodbye, Acai Ultrasound Imaging Services, and welcome to Acai Diagnostic Imaging Services. And with that name, with diagnostic now, it has opened the whole era of diagnostic in terms of we have added X-rays,
Yes.
and there are future plans in place for other things, for
Other
other
modalities.
modalities as time
Mhm.
progresses.
Yes.
And I need to add as well that we have added another location, and this location is is very central in respect of the Newlands community and that general area. It is located at Country Corner, which is on the opposite side of the supermarket, of Countryside Supermarket. It's in the same plaza as, I'm not saying chicken and stuff, right? Yeah. Chicken and Simboko. It's the same plaza that we're located. It's located within Savannah Medical Center,
Mm-hmm.
which is run by Dr. Thompson. And so this location is very central. That's where we have the X-rays and the ultrasound, and um, it is saving people from traffic. Instead of the commute to Georgetown in the traffic, for those who are in that area and close by, You can come to that location for ease of travel and for the same traditional service that Acai has provided over the years. And this is our 10th anniversary, by the way.
Second location, and Asai has been in business for 10 years. How does that make you feel though? To see Asai expanding and growing in the Cayman Islands the way it is doing right now, having a second location, how does that make you feel? The vision
All
that
right,
started with
that's a good
healing.
question.
Yes.
A very good question. And I, Acai started out to me as a little baby, and I'm seeing the baby grow, and I'm seeing further growth to take place over the years. So, Acai is how I feel. I'm proud that my baby has grown to this level. I'm very, very proud as a parent to see that my baby has grown to this level, and I'm thankful to my family, to my staff, Mr. Lisa. Thank you very much to all of my staff. Thank you very much, and to you guys for promoting the site, and also to my doctors. Without the support of my doctors, as there
Yes.
will be no Acai,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
I appreciate them so much, and I'm so happy that we are poised for great things in the future, and we want to include them in our growth. As a matter of fact, we will be having a soft launch
Mm-hmm.
on Thursday the 10th, right? I think it's Thursday. You have a calendar there.
Let's look on the
Let's see
calendar.
this
Let's look on the
because
calendar.
Wednesday the
Calendar.
first, Wednesday the first.
When you
What I'll do for you right now is
By Tuesday, I think it's the 10th.
what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a small break, and of
All
course,
right,
when
we
we
work with
come
the
back with this one, of
yes.
course, we're talking
Okay.
about Acai Ultrasound and diagnostics this morning and what they have done. So we're gonna take a small break, and when we come back.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Acai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Acai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Acai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
Welcome back to the breakfast hour. To our listeners tuned in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or if you're listening via our web radio, www.flashpointmedia.ky. We welcome you. We are joined by the owner and operator of Acai Ultrasound Imaging, Acai Diagnostic Imaging.
Watch.
The name has been changed. And when you think about a name change, that is so important. What's in a name? We have had that discussion. What's in a name? This name change signals growth, and we are happy to be a part of that growth. Now, there's something that has stuck in my mind, yes, since the conversation started. Healthcare is a big deal, Mr. Mason.
Yes.
We have spoken and we have shared the phrase, your health is your wealth. And it's not a joke
Mm.
because if you are not healthy, then of course your life, your health, your happiness, your peace is gone through the window and you spend all your wealth
Okay, I was coming to that.
to achieve your health. When you spoke of connecting with the patients on a level.
Yeah.
You spoke about patients coming in pain, getting the statistics and the amount of patients.
Yeah.
It's far beyond that. And that stuck with me because in an era, in a time when people are just so caught up and busy, who has time to care? Even you go to a healthcare practice, it's all about just we see the
The
next
numbers.
patients
The
because they are
numbers.
persons, but not at a side,
No.
not at Acai Diagnostic Imaging. Acai Diagnostic
Get used to the
Imaging,
name, see. Get
yes,
used to the name,
it
see.
started as an ultrasound, primarily ultrasound practice, but
Only.
as
It was
only.
only ultrasound at the start.
But today we are happy to share with you the exciting news that another modality, X rays, yes, have been added to what is offered at Acai Diagnostic Imaging. But not only that, when there was one location located only in Georgetown, Grand Cayman, we have a second location. So listen up. If you are in Savannah, or if you are in Newlands, or if you are in East End, North Side, wherever you are, we have the convenience right there for you. Head over to Acai Diagnostic Imaging, located at Countryside.
Country Corner,
Country
which is
Corner,
the opposite side of
yes.
country, of countryside.
And of course, you will get the same rich service that Acai was born. The foundation of Acai is on that rich service that care not only for patient numbers, but
Yes.
care for your health. So come on over. It could be just,
Absolutely.
it doesn't mean that you're ill.
Come and have a talk. Come and have a talk.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah,
Listen,
yeah. I
I
love
have
that, Mr.
patients
Mason.
who
Can I
say
tell you? I
yes.
tell you, I
Yeah.
love that. I love
Hey.
the fact that you come and you sit her and you say, whatever there is, help me to find it, help me to
Yes.
see.
Yes.
So when you come to a site, it's not just Mr. Mason or yours
Mhm.
truly,
You know,
but you have superpowers.
Exactly. And also we have a new member of staff, a new technical member of staff,
Yes,
who is Miss Grace King, and she's
a queen.
located between located between the two offices. She's a recently arrived from Jamaica, and she's a very well fitted person, was fitted into our system quite well, and so we're happy to have her. And as Miss E said, what resonated about the care. It's not about the numbers for us, as he said.
Yes,
Yeah, but it is the acknowledgement of God and the acknowledgement of God's power in healing.
yes,
And as you rightly said, we don't realize how much money we save when we're healthy.
as you mentioned, it started off, Mr. Mason, with the idea of your health is your wealth.
Yes.
And you're emphasizing the idea that men should are the ones who stay away more from the healthcare providers and are needed to pay more attention to their health. And today it is really something that needs to be driven home, like drive home a little more, because I do know that I myself I don't like to hear the word doctor too much. I would go to the very thing and say, you know what, don't tell me, just don't tell me. And it is something that I'm just using myself as a wide section of mindsets of men that
Yes.
would be just like myself, who would say, just, you know what,
Not
just
you.
don't tell me at all, because by knowing alone I'm going to worry about it and I'm going to die faster from it, or I'm going to just get worse quicker. And this is something that comes out in myself, in my consciousness, every time I think about going to the doctor, I don't
Yeah.
want to go to the doctor to hear that there is something else wrong with me. I know what's wrong with me already, you know? And then there, I know something else is wrong. You know, that's a problem.
But
You
most of
know,
my patients, most patients are like you.
yes.
Most men, like I say, but I'd say many women too are like you. They want to know, and I would say to them, okay, so first of all, you're at a side. Secondly, you are being looked after by somebody who is highly experienced, and I know what I'm doing, and my staff they know what they're doing. But also, there's a third factor, and the part of you worried about it, I cannot understand. And I always say that I don't. If you can give me a good reason for worrying, I will start. Give me a good reason for worrying, and I'll start because I have the solution to worry, and that is God.
I
And if
want.
God, I say, do you believe that God can? I say, if something's wrong with you, do you think God can fix it? Yes, sir. So I said, what you worrying about? And they would say, oh, we're humans, we're humans, and humans worry. But I'm saying, if you have faith and you believe in God, then leave it to God. Leave it to God. I remember Asia, what my daughter I mentioned earlier, when she was like about 6.
Yes.
And we were talking about some problem about something. And she said, Daddy, all you have to do is pray about it and leave it at the bottom of the sea. Leave it at the bottom of the sea. So I say,
From the lips of a
brother
child.
Mikey, yes, you know that God can fix everything, but you worry. Don't worry. Leave it to God. And it's simple. It's so simplistic.
Here's my part of it, and I realize I want to just acknowledge also that the interviewer, and in this regard, in the Lady Elise, is also a member of the Acai Ultrasound team, and for saying this, I would want to say to you this morning, and for myself, that you are be careful to employ females to the establishment, and you're mentioning men's health. One of the main thing about men's health is that men don't like, I don't. I'm just speaking for myself. You know what? Let me just speak for myself.
Get
I,
it, Mikey.
Mikey, before you continue, let me tell you this. Let me give you this thing. All right? And that's the beauty of a site. In that we can offer either gender for any diagnostic imaging. I am available.
I know, but I'm
There
just
are some
saying.
there are some doctors who insist that I do their patients with E, and no offense at all. There are some patients who just want me, some patients who just want Miss E. You understand? So we have the flexibility. Whatever your comfort zone is, Asai will provide it.
Mr.
And,
Mason.
can I also add
Yes.
that uh, Mr. Mason goes above and beyond for patient care. And, even though we have our hours that is on the door,
Yes.
patients call at different hours. And
I come on a Sunday.
yes,
So it's a matter of on demand care. You're offering what you're offering to the public then is an on demand care that have no limits. So if there's an emergency or someone needs to see and the building is closed already, it will be open up. So your primary focus is to care for your community in every
Yeah.
single way. So you're 24 hours accessible. That's what you're saying.
Basically, yes. Should any emergency arise, whatever hour of the day or night, if it's urgent enough, we will be there. And the doctors know. And there are some doctors who basically their focus is on emergency care and late fix stuff. We are there. We're there for them.
That's a very important part to know, and where we are today in healthcare. I remember, going to my bed, and when in the middle of the night, at midnight, that was when my pains struck me, and I started wondering what was happening to me. I didn't know about God's, what was it, kidney stones? Is it kidney? Is it God? What is it?
kidney stones,
Kidney
yes.
Yeah.
stones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kidney stones, and that thing, I have experienced that. Now, just knowing that I could have probably got an X-ray that could have probably show something like that. Could
Yeah.
I get an X-ray to see kidney stones?
Ultrasound,
Oh,
X-ray.
sorry,
Good.
or ultrasound to see kidney stones.
Both
Sorry.
good, both good. Did you pass it?
Well, not before it almost passed me, you know.
Oh, not a fun talk. Not a fun talk.
But it happened, you know. It happened, and
Yeah.
here it comes again, and it's like two of them. So it was twice. It was twice the pain I felt the first time.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, and people say it's like birth pain, the idea of having these things.
All right, ladies.
And so if that's what the woman, and if that's, I would say, let me add this: if it's that's what the woman goes through,
He knows, he who feels it knows it.
no, I'm saying, if this is what I'm saying, an experience like this for me, and I'm saying it now, I'm saying if that's what the women go through to get, to give us the children that we have to give our women some real big claps, you know, and really some hope for
That's
that.
what they go through. That is what they go through.
Man,
Yeah,
if that, I was trying to say, if that isn't love, then the ocean is dry.
Correct.
And so, ultrasound diagnostics for pregnancies. Then, as we enter into pregnancies, and we talk about that, if I want to know what my baby eye color is, could I know?
You have to go to genealogy, you know. You don't have to do
I want Mr. Mason to answer that question.
DNA testing, go. Recessive genes coming up. But we tell you everything else. We will tell you everything else. We'll tell you the gender if you want to know.
Well, in a day when
Is that a hint to us?
is that a hint?
Okay. Just check it.
I'm not saying, I'm thinking, in a day when everybody wants to know in advance, everything. You don't want to leave anything. And, there's a time when I didn't want to know what my child's sex was. And before it was born, I wanted to wait. And I think that there are many, there's a question I want to ask. Many persons, is it the men who are anxious, who wants to know what the child is, or the sex of the child is, or is it men? Is it the women or the men who wants to know?
Both.
I would say that the men want to know a little bit more than women do. I would say based on our experience, I would say if there's a discussion, the lady would say, "I don't want to know," and then she will look at her husband, or she will look at him, and he will have some sort of ambiguity in his expression. Right? And some would actually say, she don't want to know. So I would say a little bit more. I mean, the men, they will go with their partner.
Here's a better question for you. Here's a better one that I'd ask you. And what is the concern of the men wanting to know what sex the child is? What's the concern of him? He wants to know if he's having a man child, or he's just any baby is going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's the traditional thing that boy. But I'm finding more so in the last few years that either men are becoming great actors and pretenders, and they're so excited when they see the girl, or they have changed their way of thinking and are happy anyway.
Well, I don't want to tell my story of my first experience of that happening to me. But I will say to you that I am privileged to have 3 daughters, and I will tell you that everyone is a gem, and they represent the apple of my eye. So I would just say it like that, to just let
Absolutely.
you know how I feel.
Girls are for daddies.
But I do also have 2 boys.
Okay.
And so
And
no, I'm saying I also have 2 boys,
be very careful. That's all I can tell you. Where is listening?
All right, so having said that, I'm indicted. The world has indicted me. All right, so Mr. Mason, what's next for Acai Diagnostics? Of course, as you said, a name change has come. What's the going forward for Acai Diagnostics in 2025?
and beyond.
and beyond, right? What are you seeing in the forecast of the future of Acai Diagnostics in the Cayman Islands?
Okay, so the most immediate thing, and that is what we were discussing prior to the break, just before the break, the most um, imminent part of the plans is that on the 10th of July,
Right,
we're going to be having a soft opening.
right,
The soft opening will be getting our doctors and other medical personnel who are involved in this field together at the Country Corner location, and we are gonna have a little socialization and give a little tour of the facility and have discussion about where we're going from there. All right, so it's a meet and greet sort of place. There are many new doctors who are in the Cayman Islands, and we've been trying to reach them to get them to be a part of this, and also our doctors who have been with us from over the years. Maybe invited them to come to the new location to see the place and to have a tour of it. That's one. The next imminent part of our plan is the 10th and official the 10th anniversary celebration. Okay, it's a very significant year for us.
right, right.
We're gonna mix it with the grand opening. So we're gonna have that event as part of the official launch of Acai Diagnostic
Right.
Imaging
Right.
Services mixed with the 10th anniversary celebration. So that's the next thing. And so we are very excited about this, and our team is working assiduously to get this done. In addition, I mentioned our technical team earlier. I must also mention that there is Ishmael is my right hand man. He's my right hand man. We've been working together and been doing really progressive stuff over the last few months, and I must say thank you to him for his assistance in this process. For the future is wide. There's no limit to where we'll go. I'm seeing Acai Diagnostic having its own location with many modalities, with office spaces for doctors, and we create our own reality. And so I'm creating this reality right now. I'm seeing it in the future, and I'm happy to say that with the help of God, it will come through.
All right, so we're going to talk more about it, but let's take a short break and then we'll share, I'll allow Mr. Meso to share with our listeners, our viewers. Just speak to them directly, eye to eye. Tell them about Asai, remind them about the passion. And if they are having any health concerns, where to find us, talk to their doctor about Asai. Because our listeners too, they can make suggestions to their healthcare providers.
Correct.
So I've heard about this
So,
place. Acai Diagnostic Imaging. It's all about care and healing.
Yes,
Please send me. I need to go. Please. Yes.
absolutely.
well,
When we come back.
Let's see.
of course, when we come back for this one, of course, thank you, Mr. Mason, for joining us this morning, because I have so many questions I have unanswered already. So, when we come back.
I can do that.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Acai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Acai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Acai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Thank you for sticking and staying with us right here on the breakfast hour. Today we have joining us in studio Mr. Curtis Mason, owner and operator of Twin Children.
Good, well, sir.
Owner and operator of Acai Diagnostic Imaging. I'm a part of that team as well. Yes, you know, like coconut, you know, you need coconut.
Coconut
You
milk.
want it in your rice
Yeah,
and peas, you want it in your
exactly.
rundown.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm happy to be a part of such a wonderful organization that's moving from strength to strength. And of course, Flashpoint Media, we have partnered with Acai Diagnostic Imaging to share good news, wonderful news, and it's all about health and healing. We care about your health and well being. So, Mr. Mason, you're going to share with our listeners and viewers why Acai Diagnostic Imaging and what it means to them. You know, if you're here in the Cayman Islands and you have to do your medical for your work permit or your residency or for whatever reason, you don't have to go too far to have your chest x-ray done because that's part of the package at Acai Diagnostic Imaging. So over to you, Mr. Mason. Share with
Mm.
our listeners, our viewers, all about the diagnostic services at Acai.
Thank you, Lucy. It is a blessing to have this lady working with me, ladies and gentlemen. It is a blessing. And any patient who comes in contact with her, her smile is infectious. And the healing is already started just by that smile or enthusiasm. But um, absolutely, I appreciate you. Cayman Islands, Asai is here for you. All right, we cater to you. Diagnostic imaging and starting out with ultrasound and now with X-rays, as she mentioned before, work permit medicals, and you can also be proactive nowadays. Instead of waiting on your doctor to say go to do this, you can also educate yourself. The internet is there, information is there. Choose the right sources, all right? But you can also suggest things to your doctors. It used to be that a doctor's word is gospel, and it probably still is. But you can also be proactive by saying, Doc, do you think I should do this? What do you think about this? You know, and so that might be helpful. Also, we are, as we mentioned before, we have the involvement of the Lord in this business,
Mm.
and so come and benefit from that. You combine, how much years of experience do we have together, Missy? Eh? I have about 25 years of experience, more than 25 years. You have the same thing, right? So this is 50 years of experience right
Wow.
here. Right here. 50 years of experience plus Miss King as well.
Yes.
All right, over 50 years of experience. So come on, guys.
Yes.
This is not something that you're supposed to let go to waste. All right, we're here for you. Also, I must say, magandang umaga, which is good morning to Filipinos. I'm learning the language. Yo hablo un poquito de español también. I speak some amount of Spanish. So we are able, okay. So we are versatile in terms of our ability to communicate with our patients. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for supporting us over the years. And as the company grows, we will. It is always tailored to your health.
Partnering with Asai Ultrasound this morning is a good idea, and I'll tell you why. Because not only that you will benefit health-wise, you will also get a smile. And so, with saying that, I'm thinking, and that's what came to my mind when I hear you express your staff and how welcoming Asai is to persons who are in their time of dire need or a crisis moment. a smile can actually change a circumstance
Yes.
into a hopeful reality. So for that, I want to thank you for joining us this morning for this experience, telling us about Asai. But I'm just here sitting down. My mind is very provocative, that kind of thing, and so it tends to do that, right? And the other thing that says Peter, this lady brought two sons to Jesus and says, "I want you to make one on your right and one on your left." You have a right hand man, but you must have a right hand woman. Anyway, don't answer that question. So we're going to go forward into this morning's experience. I want to thank you for coming on this morning. It's a difficult choice, when you have all good choices.
Yes. So thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Lucy, for having me. Brother Mikey, thanks.
All right, there you have it. Acai Ultrasound for all your ultrasound needs right here in the Grand Cayman Islands. Of course.
Diagnostic imaging.
Hold on. Listen, please. Let me stand corrected and ask the man of the hour himself. Please tell us the name. Announce the name for me and correct Michael G this morning.
Okay. Announce the name.
All right. The new name is Acai Diagnostic Imaging Services Limited.
Commercial change. That's all I have to say. Of course, when we come back.
Call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee. Yes, it's me, Earthquake. I coming Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced. And when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the doorway or any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take for yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yes, it has been such a wonderful conversation this morning, Mikey G. It's always a privilege to welcome guests in the studio. And of course, one who has partnered with Flashpoint Media for a while. And, it's good to put a face to the adverts that you've been hearing. Flashpoint is happy to team with Acai Diagnostic Imaging Services in not only providing quality healthcare but quality media services.
I'm going to write it down so I don't forget. I'm going to write it.
No, we'll say it often enough. We'll update our advert.
You mean like when Dr. K says she believes that it's the only ultrasound place that is in the Cayman Islands?
Well, we're going to update that one, of course, and Acai Diagnostic Imaging Services right here in Cayman with 2 locations, Georgetown and Country Corner. So there's no need for you to go too far to get good service. And of course, this morning it's time for our news. You need to know what's happening in Cayman and the rest of the world. Our news anchor, Lady Curly Karen, stands ready to share with us those items of news. And the weekend was filled with news. Let's hear what's happening in the world.
Our news is brought to us by M&M Construction for all your construction needs right here in the Grand Cayman Islands and beyond. Of course, news time. Of course, remember, continue to like, share, and subscribe. www.flashpointmedia.ky. Our web reader continues all day. News time, right here on Flashpoint.
To build your dream home or renovate your space, M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 24th, and this is your Breakfast Hour News. I'm Corley Karen with your top stories from across the Cayman Islands and the world. Caymanian golfer Justin Hastings returns to a Hughes welcome. Cayman is beaming with pride as local golf sensation Justin Hastings returned home on Friday night, June 21, to a hero's welcome at Owen Roberts International Airport. Hastings made history as the first Caymanian to play in the US Open, and he didn't just show up, he shined. Competing at the prestigious Oakmont Country Club in Pennsylvania, Hastings was the only amateur to make the two-round cutoff, earning low amateur honors and finishing ahead of some of golf's biggest names, including Phil Mickelson and defending champion Bryson DeChambeau. Reflecting on the moment, Hastings said, "It was such a treat just to play in the US Open and to walk away as low amateur. It's something I'll hold on to for the rest of my life." His win at the Latin America Amateur Championship earlier this year secured his place at the Masters US Open and the upcoming British Open Championship in July at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. St. Ignatius and Island Primary win Inter-Primary Cricket Tournament. Future cricketing stars were on full display at the Smith Road Oval last Friday as St. Ignatius Catholic School and Island Primary claimed top honors in the girls and the boys divisions of the annual Inter-Primary Cricket competition. The tournament, which started in early May, saw 16 schools from across the island competing in a series of 12 oval matches. Kerry Jones-Hilton from the Department of Education Services said the tournament is not just about sport, but also about building future opportunities. Quote, "These children can earn scholarships and even go on to represent the national team. We've already seen stars of the future come through this program. Education Minister tours Cayman Brac High School construction site. In early June, Minister for Education and Training, Ralston Anglin, visited Cayman Brac to inspect progress on the new high school construction site, accompanied by Cabinet Ministers Nicholas Da Costa and J. Evans. The tour was part of the new ministers' push to familiarize themselves with ongoing projects across the sister islands. Minister Anglin emphasized the importance of seeing the project firsthand. Quote, "It's early days, but this kind of engagement is essential as we begin reviewing ongoing initiatives and considering next steps." End quote. The team also stopped by the existing Layman E. Scott High School, meeting with school leaders to better understand the current academic environment. Rotary Central donates mobile blood collection units to HSA. A significant step forward for public health. On June 20, Rotary Central Cayman Islands handed over a mobile blood collection unit to the Cayman Islands Health Services Authority. The new unit is expected to expand across the blood donation. I'll read that again. The new unit is expected to expand access to blood donation services across all districts and improve outreach to underserved communities. Officials present included Health Minister Catherine Evans-Wilkes, Parliamentary Secretary Wayne Panton, and HSA CEO Lizette Yearwood. The donation marks the culmination of Rotary Central's 2024-2025 project focus aimed at enhancing national blood security. Kennel cough concerns at Cayman Islands Humane Society. Dog owners, take note. The Cayman Islands Humane Society has closed its shelters on North Sound Road to the public amid concerns of a possible kennel cough outbreak. While no cases have been officially confirmed, Shelter Director Saskia Salden said the move is precautionary. The shelter is also not accepting new animals and is asking current fosters to hold onto pets until further notice. Veterinarian Dr. Bandini reminds the public that vaccinating your dog once a year not only protects your pet, but contributes to community-wide protection. The vaccine is especially important during hurricane season, when animals may need to be sheltered or boarded unexpectedly. Eight things Caribbean women expect in a relationship. Non-negotiable. Dating a Caribbean woman? Then buckle up, because it's not for the weak or the wishy-washy. Caribbean women are rooted in strong cultural values, self-worth, and pride. They don't entertain confusion, mixed signals, or half-effort love. Here are the 8 absolute musts, no exceptions, no apologies. Respect every time. Public or private, disrespect is a deal breaker. Speak right or walk away. Consistency over excuses. Talk is cheap, keep your word or keep it moving. Loyalty like coconut oil. Thick, deep, and always true, but if you cheat, expect volcanic backlash. Affection and attention. Independent, yes, but she wants to feel wanted. Ambition required. No need to be rich, but you must be driven. Family matters. Auntie's approval might just seal the deal. Open communication. Say what you mean. No guessing games. Confidence without control. Lead if you can. but never dim her shine. So to all the suitors out there, if you're not serious, step aside. As they say in the islands, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And now in the region, in tech and telecom, Digicel unveils FY25 ESG report. Digicel Group has officially released its Environment, Social and Governance report for FY25, covering operations in 25 markets across the Caribbean, Central and South America. Group CEO Marcelo Cataldo says the year was about bold decisions and deliberate actions. Digicel's vision of connecting and empowering is guiding efforts towards sustainability, digital inclusion, and ethnic governance. US strikes prompt regional fallout. The Iranian attack follows the United States' surprise bombing of 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities across 30,000-pound bunker buster bombs. President Trump authorized the strike on Sunday morning, inserting America directly into Israel's ongoing conflict with Iran. Iran has warned of further retaliation. Iranian General Abdulrahim Mousavi said the U.S., quote, will face consequences, end quote, and that Iranian forces now have a, quote, free hand to act against American interests in the region. There are tens of thousands of American troops stationed across the Middle East, many within the range of Iran's missile arsenal. Israel widens war, hits symbolic targets in Tehran. Israel has intensified its campaign against Iran, expanding airstrikes to symbolic government targets in the heart of Tehran. Among them, the notorious Evin prison, known for detaining political prisoners and dual nationals, and the headquarters of Iran's military repression units. Plumes of smoke were seen rising above the capital, and reports indicate additional Israeli strikes near Iran's Fordo nuclear enrichment site, aiming to block access to the underground facility. Despite the offensive, Israeli officials insist they are not seeking regime change, a position cast into doubt by President Trump, who questioned on social media whether a regime change in Iran was now inevitable. Iran responds with new attacks on Israel. Iran launched a third wave of what it calls Operation True Promise, targeting Tel Aviv, Haifa, and Jerusalem. Explosions were heard across multiple Israeli sites, although no injuries have been reported. So far, over 950 Iranians have been killed and thousands more wounded in Israeli airstrikes, according to the Washington-based human rights activist group. In Israel, at least 24 people have died and over 1,000 are injured since the conflict began 11 days ago. Qatar closes airspace as region braces for more retaliation. In a further sign of the region's volatility, Qatar temporarily closed its airspace amid Iranian threats of continued retaliation. Al Udeid Air Base, which houses U.S. operations, including the Combined Air Operations Center and the 379th Air Expeditionary Wing, remains on high alert. Qatar Airways and other regional carriers have adjusted flight paths, and passengers are advised to check with airlines for delays or cancellation. Nuclear concerns rise as watchdog monitors fallout. Back in Vienna, the International Atomic Energy Agency has warned of likely severe damage to Iran's nuclear facilities at Fordo and Natanz. While Iranian officials claim they moved nuclear materials in advance, the IAEA says any transfers must be declared and inspected. Iran's 2015 nuclear deal remains on life support, and fears are growing that the region may be on the brink of a nuclear crisis. Calls for calm grow louder. Meanwhile, global leaders are calling for de-escalation. Russian President Vladimir Putin condemned the US and Israeli strikes as unprovoked aggression following meetings with Iran's foreign minister. There is mounting pressure on both Iran and the US to return to diplomacy, but for now the region remains on edge. That's the latest on this developing story. Stay with us throughout the morning for updates on traffic, weather, and what this all means for global markets.
Need help to produce your podcast? Flashpoint Media makes it very easy. We can relieve you of the headache by recording your podcast for you. So, take the first step to getting your content to your desired audience. Contact us here at Flashpoint and your podcast will be live in no time. Our website is www.flashpointmedia.ky or call us at 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
I want to thank you all for joining us this morning. Our guest this morning, Mr. Curtis Mason from the Acai Ultrasound Diagnostics. I'm getting it better this time. So I want to say thanks for joining us this morning, and of course, for all our listening and viewing audience. Welcome to another Tuesday right here on Flashpoint. Of course, our web radio continues on www.flashpointmedia.ky all day today. Lots of great stuff coming up later on. Of course, catch us tomorrow morning, same time, same place, when we do it all over again for you. Of course, on behalf of Lady Elise, Lady Coralie Karen, and myself, I want to say, have a great day.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, back up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together, we'll all sleep there outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever, I'll be yours forever.
You're listening to Flashpoint, the family radio.
Hey, I am Brother West, and the only station I listen to in the morning is Flashpoint Radio. Please stay tuned and be blessed.